Right now, President Obama delivering a $4 trillion budget to Congress today, including billions in new spending for programs aimed at fighting the so-called war on poverty. That's part of an election year push seeking unity with Democrats rather than compromising with Republicans, we are told. One Republican, Diane Black. She's a member of the House Budget Committee out of Tennessee. And how are you? And welcome here to HQ.
Good afternoon, Bill. It's great to be with you.
What did you think of the president's proposal?
I think it's still the same old stale ideas of more spending, raising more taxes, and nothing really new in there. I'm really disappointed that the president would put an additional $58 billion of new spending since he just signed a bill with our budget agreement just 2 months ago.
Well, the White House,
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, the White House says like 13 million Americans are getting a tax break. Are they?
You know, the best way for us to make sure that everyone is treated fairly with the tax code is to reform it. It's broken, and we just put our tax bill out there from Ways and Means to reform both the corporate and the individual side. We know we got a good dynamic score back. Millions of jobs would be created. I wish the president would just come and sit down and listen and maybe have a dialogue with us on what really can be done to move this
just
economy.
To be clear, he's calling for more spending in his idea, right?
That's right.
Now what's the chance that more spending passes this Congress?
Well, I don't think he has much of a chance, at least here in the House. I can't speak for what the Senate will do, but more spending is not the issue here. It's odd that this would come out on the same day that we reach the $17.4 trillion debt. The debt clock is ticking, and until we get serious about growing our economy, and that can be done by creating more jobs. Obviously, it's not the Congress that creates jobs. It's the American people, the job creators. And we have a number of bills laying on the desk over in the Senate, just waiting for those to be moved forward. The president just has this all wrong. He just continues to want to spend and tax and spend and tax. Look, it hasn't worked. We've given him 5 years. The stimulus program didn't work. And he calls this austerity when we've now added $6.8 trillion in debt since 2009. That's not austerity. If that's austerity, I want to see what spending is. So, again, just stale.
I heard from one of your colleagues on the Senate side who they believe this budget, if it ever were enacted, would add $8 trillion to the debt over 10 years. And you mentioned that $17.4 trillion mark. Why would this administration want to leave office at the end of their second term with $19 trillion, or I mean, could it be $20 trillion by then?
Yes, I don't know. I can't answer that. I wish someone would ask him that question pointed before a camera, because he has children. I have children that are grown, but I have grandchildren. I'm very concerned about their future, and this president is only adding to the debt that they're going to have to pay in the future. So I'm not sure why he still wants to go down this road, why he won't sit down and talk with us about how we can get this spending in control.
For me and for our audience now, give us a different vision. What are you saying in your budget committee with the majority of Republicans there?
Well, we will put our budget out. We're working on that right now, but I can tell you, you have seen what Paul Ryan has put out there about us helping people that are in poverty. We certainly do have to have programs that are safety net, but when we look at the 50th anniversary of the war on poverty, we see these programs are not working. I think it's immoral to continue to add programs when you don't evaluate whether those programs are truly helping. And we are seeing more people, and especially more women, more single women in poverty than any other time. And so we have got to take a look at what we're doing, evaluate it, make sure our dollars are being well spent while we are assuring that we're taking care of people who do need it.
So now you have an election year issue, because the president has shown his hand, and you and Paul Ryan and others in the House are going to show your hand. How big of a contrast is that for voters? And is that the thing they're paying attention to?
Yes. I think that when the president ran 5 years ago, said hope. And that's what we really want to give people, is hope. People who want upward mobility. You know, a best way to get somebody out of poverty is a job and giving them dignity and upward mobility. And that's really what we should be looking to. Not just saying we're going to throw money at those old stale programs that haven't worked, and over 50 years we've still got a war on poverty.
All right, so the debate continues. Diane Black, thank you for your time. And as you point out, $17.4 trillion just today. Appreciate it. Republican from Tennessee.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.